Okay, bring y'all back. Now that I've shown you the setup of the stove, again, just to show again, does not come with the kit, but I got my ash rake. This just screws together like so. Bought it off Amazon. I think it was like 12 bucks. And then I have my fireproof mat by CSL Outdoors, or CLS Outdoors, sorry. And then it comes with this silicone rubber glove, I guess. It's like cloth right here, but then it's got the silicone grippings. And we got our stove. So I know I set it up once already, but just in real time, I'm going to show you all really how quickly it is to set this up. It doesn't take much time at all. I appreciate that. I like things that don't take too much time. So again, take off the top, fold up the front, fold up the back, and then you pull this one up. You see that one has a little hook. That's the bottom, that's the top. This will go on the side. Okay, and it'll look like that when you're done. Okay, and we'll grab the other side. So again, this one has the holes. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Holes on the top. Same thing, there's little grooves on the inside. I mean, pretty foolproof. Gotta get the hooks right. There's the front, sorry, the back. There's the front. And I'll do the legs. Okay. And then we'll set this down. A little bit icy right here. That's okay though. See that? Okay. And we got the top. Again, you got this seam where it's two pieces together. Place a chimney stack on the back. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Sorry, it's dark. So again, I want to do all this in real time so that you can see real-time setup when you use it in the field. Okay, there's that. Next, we will take, sorry, digging through stuff. So then we'll take this piece, right? Focus, maybe, possibly. Okay, it's not going to focus, so we'll take this piece. Again, it's got these little notches. It's not going to focus. Focus. Good Lord. Okay, anyways, here we go. So it's got these little notches right here. Push in and quick return. And again, I'll always try to push this handle towards the back so I can access it. Then you got this piece that will tighten the smokestack to this bottom piece down here. So I'll put that on, loosen it up. And then, I can't stress enough, before you put the chimney on, put your spark arrestor on. Otherwise you won't be able to reach it. I haven't done it yet, but just food for thought, I guess. So, okay. I don't believe there's any apparatus that will tighten this to the chimney. I think it just stays on there, and then your guy line links right here will push this down, so it kind of pulls the spark arrestor onto the chimney, down onto the stove, and it pushes it all down towards earth. So not really a locking mechanism here, just these. So that just sits on there. but it does have, I don't know if you can see it, little flanges in here that stops the chimney from going all the way down to the top. So just push in this piece right here so it all makes it smaller, and you can see right here that flange that's bent in that keeps the chimney from going all the way to the top. Okay. And if I remember, this all will slip on the outside of this piece. If I can get it to do that, I don't know. Oh, come on. Hey, I got it. Okay, now I just got to tuck everything in. Tighten this up and make sure my knobs don't interfere with each other. Okay. Okay, so there's that. So one thing I will tell you is you've got your chimney airflow here, and then this one is what tightens your chimney stack to that piece on the stove. This piece, do not over tighten, because what will happen is it will bind up your airflow to your chimney if you get too tight. It should be just snug. I mean, I can't pull that off, so it's good. And then there's zero wind right now, so I'm just going to leave this freestanding. And that's it. And then I will see if we can get a fire started. I got my little DeWalt bag here. I'm standing in front of the light. Swap over. I don't know if... My DeWalt bag here. Zoom out a little bit. Open the door. By the way, this does measure, I think it was 15 inches. I'm going to measure it real quick. Got a tape measure here. So external dimension is 15 inches. My logs are probably over that. Yeah, they're over, so I might have to cut these in half. So the stove is 15. My logs are longer than that, so I'm going to cut them in half. So I got my logs, cut them in half. These are store-bought. I have had them in my garage for quite some time, so they should be truly dry. And then along with that, I've got some other little split logs that I've cut up before. They too have been in my garage just drying. To start it, I'll be using these. I bought these off Amazon. It was $8 for this whole box. You get 48 fire starters. These are awesome. They come in sheets like this. It's like the compressed fiberboard type stuff. So if you want one, it's kind of like a Hershey's bar. Just break off what you need. Put the rest back. For this one, I'm going to try one. And we'll see what that gets us. May or may not get us where we need. But one piece is that big. And we'll see what it does. So to start with, I'm just going to put this in there and then light it. And then put my smaller twigs on top. So I will say with this, I do have like the torch type lighter. I did get to light, but it took a little bit. So what we'll do, take some smaller twigs. You can already see the fire going there. Really put them on top, so I don't want to put my fire out. give that a minute. And also, did not forget our fan. What I'm going to do is, once I get the fire going on the stove, we'll put this down on top, and I will continue to record to see how long it takes for this to turn on. Brought you back. Got a little fire going there. The camera is in focus. It's just, I think the glass is condensated inside. When it's got a little bit of moisture, I think it's about 40 degrees outside. Yeah, it says it feels like 32. So, but here's the setup. Pretty cool. And as you can see, I got the smokestack up there, the spark arrestor. It's actually doing pretty good on the camera. If I had to guess, the chimney starts about a foot off the ground. I mean, up to the spark arrestor, good lord, that's probably 7 feet. So I think with the tent that I have, it'll be alright. I think I'll have plenty of clearance from where my tent will be to the top of the smokestack. Here's the stove. You can tell over right here, the glass is starting to clear up a little bit. Starting to get a fire, it's starting to burn a little bit. And then I will slowly start to add some to it. But what I wanted to show you is over here on these secondary combustion chamber holes. Those make no influence, if you can tell. Ooh, turn down. There. So those do not influence very much. There's open and then closed. But now this one, if I was to influence it, watch the fire. See how it kind of dies down a little bit? And if you notice, the fire actually calms. It's not as jittery. I think that's due to the lack of airflow, because I've got the air baffles on the side open. And if we open it, then it starts to get some oxygen. Which, this is the way you want it, because you want to get a good burn before you start to add some more logs to it. So far impressed. I like how easy it is to get going, and I'll keep messing with it until we get a good fire going. Might even break out the thermometer to see how hot it gets. Okay, so I just added a log, and you can tell now that glass is actually really cleared up, so you can see completely inside. I got a good fire going. So I think what I'm going to do is, this is obviously pretty hot to the touch. I'm going to take this fan, place it on there, and I'm going to see how long it takes to... Okay, so I'm going to move this over here, and then I've got my trusty little Blackstone laser temperature gauge. So I'm going to see how hot this top of the stove is right now before I place the wood stove fan on it. So I'll use a laser. It says it's 90 degrees there, 58 there. So I don't know if you can see the laser dot, but right behind this seam, it's above 80. And of course, if I go to the fire, it's in the hundreds, 130. If I go on top, it's 80s, almost 90. Yeah, 50, 40. It's right over the fires where obviously it's warmest. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do, excuse me, is that was with the laser. I'm going to use the probe, put it directly on it. So I'm pretty much right over the fire. And right now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's still slowly going up. I'm at 138, 140, 150, 160. So I think that might be enough to get that fan going. We'll see. Okay, so here's the fan. I'm going to place it on top. And we'll see where that gets us. So in theory, what's going to happen is the heat's going to transfer from the fire, obviously, to the top. From the top to the aluminum base. That will travel up to this thermal pad right here, which will generate electricity, and it will start the motor, and the fan will start running. So I'm going to leave you on, and we're going to see how long it takes for this fan to kick on with the heat. Oh, it's already starting to try to turn. That's cool. I don't want to help it, I just want it to go by itself. There it goes. It's already moving. That's pretty cool. So again, the only reason you would use this fan is in like a hot tent stove or somewhere enclosed, because what the premise is that the heat will rise, hit the fan, and then the fan will push the hot air throughout the rest of your enclosure or hot tent. Which, to be honest, I can actually feel the heat coming off of it. And I assume as the whole entire assembly of the fan gets hotter, the structure of the fan will begin to heat itself like a heat sink, and then it will begin to transfer that heat more out, because I can already feel the heat coming off of it. That's cool. Probably about 30 minutes into burning. Got my Kindle that lit, and then my one main log that I tossed on. I got a good fire going. Don't know the air baffles along the top there. Those are all open. Fan's going. The only thing I did notice, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but the smokestack actually tilted inward a little bit. And I don't know if it's due to the platform right there of all the weight, but I think that would probably fix it if I was to guy line it out. But also too, I want to point out, to be honest, with that secondary combustion chamber vents open, there's like no smoke coming out of that. Every once in a while, there's a hot amber that will come out right there. But man, there is no smoke, which is kind of crazy. So, glass is nice and clear. It's burning really clean. There's the front. Fan's going. Take the mic off, see if you can hear it. So I got the fan going. I mean, just so far, just really good burn on all this. Trying not to get in the light. Another plus of me doing this in the dark, as you can see my fingers there, right there. You can see where the fire is shining through, as well as up on top there. See the fire shining through, so those will be on your air gaps on this, as well as there on the smokestack. Nothing on the back. But for the price point on this, that's pretty good. You can tell there along the top, a couple little gaps. Man, can't complain. This thing's doing really well. I can't tell if any smoke has come out from any of those air gaps. I do have the baffle fully open back there. You can tell right there, the baffle's fully open. What you don't want, oop, there's an amber. You gotta be careful of that. What you don't want is those air gaps to allow smoke to come out. Obviously you want everything to come out through the chimney, not those air gaps. So keeping those under control is very important. There's a couple there. Now I would assume that every stove has this. I'm sure this will hopefully not, but potentially develop some more as it warps. Hopefully it doesn't warp, but I do understand with the price point and the stainless steel that's probably going to be a factor. It's not titanium, not one of the higher end stoves, but okay. So I've got my little fire or ash rake here. Screw it together. Then it comes in two pieces. Just gotta screw it together. It's pretty solid. Got a little handle right here. So I'm gonna use this to move around some of the wood. So the ring's not hot at all. I can open it. So far it's burning well. Keeps a good fire. Doesn't die out. Still got flames. Fan's still going, putting off heat. All in all, I'm really impressed with this. I like how easy it is to set up. I like how the airflow is on it. Even though it doesn't really matter because the smokestack clears your tent. I like how this does a secondary combustion, so in theory with all those like solo stoves and stuff like that, they're supposed to burn more efficient. So far I'd say it's true. I think it's been about 40 minutes, and I haven't touched this at all. I haven't added any logs other than just kind of shifting it around just then, but it's doing really well. So overall, love it. I think I paid $170, $175 I think, and that was including the stove with all the pieces to make it a full stove, the chimney and all that, and then it came with the fan. So this whole assembly, as you see it, came at a price tag of about $175. I did get it on a sale during Christmas off Amazon, but man, what a steal. You can see a lot of this down here. It's starting to melt. This is all ice. The heat's starting to radiate down. And if I ever use up my hot tent, which I do plan on sometime taking that out, I do have that mat to lay out on my solo homestead. But yeah, thumbs up. Love this thing. Okay, so we're back. Just to show you went and got a flashlight. And still, I mean, there's like no smoke coming off of that. It's crazy. What I do have, focus. Holy cow, focus. So what this is the Olight Seeker 3. Yep, Seeker 3 Pro. Beautiful flashlight, love it. Got it in the desert tan or whatever they call it. Badass flashlight. It's got a little turn dial here. Make it brighter. Lights on the right is brightness. Lights on the left. Or no, am I backwards? Sorry, lights on the right is battery. Lights on the left is brightness. Then you double press, make it super bright. Turn it down. And that's minimum. See? Got one bar. One light. And I got a pretty big yard, about almost 0.4 acres. It's more of a floodlight. Man, this thing kills it. Love it. There's the stove kicking away. This thing, like, I can feel the heat right here. And I'm probably about 2 feet from it. Super impressed by the stove. Until it's down to just kind of embers right now. Everything's going out. But so far, loving this thing. It's kind of hard to gauge how much heat I'm going to get out of it. Just because it's outside and I'm not in an enclosed space, but I don't know if you can tell. We'll open the baffles and close it. Pretty cool. But, I mean, I can feel the heat here, and it's quite a bit. And then you've got these. Whew, okay. So I'm going to show you something here. So, put my flashlight down. So, hopefully the camera can focus, but... So I've got these fire rings, or not fire rings, these little rings here, and they are hot, so do be careful. There's open. I did just go to grab it because they're laying against it like this. They are super, super hot. So I don't know if maybe, I don't know if there's any way to fix that, but I don't know, maybe leave it like that. But resting against the side of the stove makes it obviously really hot. But I don't know, I might have to see if I can't think of something on that. And another thing I wanted to point out is even with just those ambers going, that fan is still kicking. I mean, I know it generates heat, obviously from just your coals or your embers, but even if your fire dies down, like, that thing's still kicking out heat, which I think is pretty cool. That's why I love these little fans. I've been waiting to get one for a while, but just never found the right time. And the main reason I wanted to get one was I have a Mr. Buddy heater. It's not like the single panel one, the Big Buddy I think they call it, but it's got the 2 panels. And I've seen like a bunch of modifications done to where they put like little wood stove fans on them. And that's where I was first introduced to it. But now that I got this wood stove, and I mean, gosh, for $175, you get this setup. I mean, put it in the comments. How do you beat that? How do you beat that price point? And I get glass on 2 sides. And it's got a secondary combustion chamber. I mean, is it titanium? Is it top of the line? No. Does it work? Yes. And for $175 compared to like Pomali and all those, dude, can't beat it. Wanted to bring you back because one thing I noticed, since I've gotten down to just the coals, I can't explain it, and I don't know why. But I don't know if it showed up on camera, but earlier the chimney was tilted this way towards the front of the stove. And I don't know if it's because of the weight of the chimney or, I mean, obviously I don't have a guide out, right? It's just freestanding. But now I'm looking at it and it's straightened out. Really weird. I don't know if maybe it's the metal settling. I don't know. But you won't have this problem if you're in the tent stove, because right about here, you're going to have a tent with a fiberglass hole that's going to hold that thing steady. So it's going to keep it straight anyway, but kind of interesting. Again, I have not done anything to it. No extra wood. What's in there is what's in there. I've just moved it around. Fan's still going. I mean, it's still rocking. So, I don't know. I'm not a fire expert. Does that tell you how efficient it is? Maybe. I got the vents open on the front. Just a solid stove. So, love this thing. I'm going to let it just burn out, do its thing. But, love it. I'm going to clean it out, let it cool down, put it away. And then, it's kind of dark right now, but we'll see if it's got any patina. I think some stainless steels do get some patina to them. Not like titanium, but a little bit. But, Danchel, thumbs up. Did great. Love it. Extremely efficient burning. Fan still going. I'm really actually super interested in getting my solo homestead tent out and bringing this with me just to see how well it's going to do. I don't have any thermometers or anything to read temperature and, see how well it does and all that jazz, but, maybe one day I'll get something and, have some sort of measurement on it. But till then, I'm super excited to have this. It's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. And I'm just kind of excited to not only before where I've had, a canvas tent, I've had the sleeping bags to keep me warm. Now I've got this. So this is going to, for me, open up a bunch, possibilities when it comes to wintertime camping. So till then, keep it real. Thanks for the views. Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you watched this video all the way through. You rock. Thank you so much. Just killing it. I love doing these gear reviews. Hopefully we'll get some trips in. But if you haven't, look through my other vids. I have West Highland Way, which is in Scotland. And then I really recently did a Colorado trip with my buddy, 3-day hiking trip down in Lost Creek Wilderness. That was pretty cool if you want to check it out. But hey, peace. Thank you. Till then, see you next time.